Hi, thank you for clicking. In this clip, I'm going to speak about fear, and as I've already covered its root cause in the previous clip with a relatable example, so you can go watch that first, click this I button. Let's begin with this ghost of fear. You know, most people die not because of any disease, but due to the fear of it. There is a story. Once the Lord of Death, Yamraj, asked the plague to go and kill 10,000 people. The plague went and killed the same amount of people, but when it returned with more than required amount of dead people, Yamraj asked plague the reason for killing more than 10,000 people. The plague told him it followed the Death Lord's order and killed only 10,000 people. The rest who are here were died due to fear. It's truly said that the number of people who die, out of them half of the people die due to fear only. Many people believe after getting ill that now it's their last moment and that they won't survive. Every moment they think of death and they die due to their cloud of thoughts. Many people even believe the astrologers that they will die much earlier than their actual time. This belief deeply sits in their subconscious mind and then they die. If one thinks that he will wake up at 3 am before going to bed, then he surely wakes up at 3 am, no doubt. Similarly, if one believes that he will die at the particular timing, then undoubtedly that belief comes true if it's a strong belief. Now listen to this very interesting real life example. In foreign country, there was a man who was to be hanged as a result of some sort of crime, but doctors brought him to the hospital for the study purpose and experimentation. Doctor made him asleep by covering his eyes, and then he picked a pin on his neck, and then with the help of an extremely narrow pipe, they released the water through it near the wound, which was touching his skin, and pretended that it's blood flowing from that area, and the blood was dripping on a vessel. Doctors lied about too much bleeding and that the man is going to die soon. That man actually believed that the blood was flowing from his neck and he died after few minutes. But in reality, only 5 to 6 drops of blood dripped from his body, just that. Now it's very much clear that what fear can do, and especially what mind can do. These are real life stories. There is another story. Once there was a man who was wandering with his friend in the jungle. The man was bitten by a snake, but he couldn't see that and thought that some thorn or bushes from the bushes he got hurt. He carried on casually, without any worry. His friend saw this incident but didn't told him and went away for some reason. When he returned back after few months and saw his friend completely healthy, he was astonished and told him that very incident of snake biting and expressed gratitude for God that nothing happened to his friend. And then from the very moment, the venom started spreading in his body and he died. You know, it's funny listening to this story, but imagine how dangerous fear can be. Here is another story. There were two friends. One of them said to the other that if you go at the graveyard at 12 o'clock at night and hammer the iron rod in the ground, then I'll give you 100 rupees. His friend agreed. He went there exactly at the same time to hammer the iron rod. But as he proceeded to do so, due to darkness, he hammered his dhoti's corner along with the rod. And as he tried to go away from there, his dhoti got pulled and he was caught by a ghost. He thought that he was caught by a ghost. He pulled his cloth, but when it did not release from the spot, he firmly believed that it's a ghost holding his cloth. And due to this strong belief and terror in his mind, he died on spot. These type of incidents happen almost daily. If the research to be done in the subject of death, then it will be revealed that most of the people just fall in the trap of illusion. When a person falls sick, some of his loved one comes, and to show much more sympathy, They really sometimes dig deeper into the sickness, and to prove themselves as his well-wishers, they show how sad and tense they are. And to prove themselves intelligent, they do what? They take him to the best doctors or even expensive ones. The old women talk like so and so person has so and so illness. Everything has been done, but with no results, nothing can be done. Hence, now only it's up to God. People at his home or his near and dear ones really just take a sledgehammer to crack a nut. They really make it a big deal, although it's not. People make the sick one even more afraid. Stupid wives, they shed tears by sitting near their sick husband. They start to project their worries like, oh Lord, how these kids gonna survive? What will be their future without their father, etc. and so on. These negative talks really do impact the sick person negatively. He become afraid looking at everybody's dull faces and talking about his death. He then starts to think about death and eventually fills the gap between him and the death. Even some doctors also contribute in this. They project the sickness as if it won't be going away easily in order to make more money, and most often they tell the disease is incurable. Because if the person would die, they will say it was incurable, he was already in the pit of death, and even if he survives, then also they'll get the chance to boast as if they treated it. They treated the so-called incurable disease. These type of doctors know that if they'll state it to be normal, they won't be able to fill their pockets. This way, in the dull environment of negativity, definitely most of the people are murdered. But if the sick person really gets in touch with wise well-wishers or a good doctor, the curing rate increases exponentially. Now, here is an army doctor who writes, medical science is not the only thing which can save a patient's life. Any doctor who worked in war zone knows it well. There are many people to whom the best medicines and surgeries have failed to cure, and the injured was healed on his own with his willpower and returned to the war back again. There was an Irish soldier from Iowa who got injured in 1918 Cherry Theory fight. The bullet entered his right side of the body, passing through his lungs, diaphragm, gallbladder and liver. It made 13 holes in his entrails. From those, 6 holes were double. When everybody there was preparing for his operation, he uttered loudly, "Doctor, I will be alright, don't worry about me." After operation, when he became conscious, he was happy. One more injured soldier was lying near him. He really was inspired from this man and thought if he can be recovered, then why not me? I will be also healthy soon. According to him, if there is heart inside him, he don't have to worry. And later, that optimistic soldier too recovered completely and went from the hospital. Basically, it had taught him that a pessimistic soldier tends to go deep inside the death's pit, and without hope, even the medicines don't work. Most people die out of fear who don't even have any such major ailments. There are few lines of medical science about which one must give it a thought. It states that the report of a big hospital of Switzerland contains such weird examples. There was a patient who came for the treatment of snake bite, but eventually he died. Why? Doctors examined his reports and found not an ounce of venom in his blood. The part where the snake has bitten him was actually a normal scratch. There was a similar kind of patient who was confused that he actually drank poison instead of medicine. He too died out of his fear, but in reality he drank his medicine. Mistakenly, the label of poison had been put in the bottle of medicine. And here is one funny story of a patient who came to this hospital complaining about the pain and struggle he was feeling because mistakenly he swallowed his 4 ceramic teeth. Later, his wife came and showed him his 4 ceramic teeth, which he kept in his blazer's pocket. The patient awkwardly went from there. Most often, diseases don't come, they are just invited by fear. But in reality, there is nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing. Why? Because every second your body is dedicated to kill and remove the toxins out from its system. It's the body's job. It do so by the means of sweat, breathing, and excretion process. Even if some or the other types of toxins build up inside the body, then naturally, with nature's force, it fights against it. Illness comes for our own benefit, not for any harm. So never get afraid of it. Be patient and let the body do its cleansing on its own. When we fear about the patient's disease and death or any other doubt in our mind, it really impacts the patient negatively. You know what happens inside the body when fear occurs? In the state of fear, the internal body functions are hindered in their natural process. The senses stop working. It puts the impact on the blood cells flowing in the blood vessels, function of the other cells, and on the stomach. State of fear increases the heart rate and heart starts to beat much faster than normal. Blood pressure also increases and the blood flows in more quantity than the normal in the veins. Salivary glands halt their process, the digestion stops, sugar starts forming in the muscles through the liver. In brief, the state of body from the inside becomes just similar to the victims of natural disasters and calamity. You know very well that what happens when an earthquake comes? It destroys everything. The state of fear is just like an earthquake, which shakes your body from the inside. And when this fear gets deeply rooted in someone, then it greatly affects the respiratory system, digestion, and the blood cells. These days, majority of population is a victim of blood pressure. You know the reason? The prime reason for this is worrying pointlessly, which is the second form of fear. The consequences for some people is indigestion. Muscle weakness is the main reason for fear. That's why most people who suffer from jaundice or stones, the main reason for it is their mental fear associated with it. They fear that they'll get stones or they'll be suffering from jaundice. A doctor who told from his experience that 75% people who go to doctors for the medicine, they are mentally suffering from those diseases. Their physical body, on the other hand, has no such ailments. It's their imaginary diseases. It is also seen that people, despite being healthy, start thinking themselves ill. And in due time, they actually become ill because of their thinking. Because what we think, we become. This is a fact that I already covered in many videos. What we think, we become. Human mind is the most powerful tool. If the feelings of fear enters in it, then it will take no time to destroy one's body. There are so many fears which are imaginary. We ourselves create this ghost of fear in front of us, and that ghost starts to eat us from the inside. Maximum people are afraid of poverty. Those who are rich, they are afraid of losing their money. Poor people develop the thinking that poverty will never leave them. Healthy people are afraid of getting ill. Ill people are afraid of getting paralyzed or even death. Thinking of becoming old and of death, people pointlessly remain sad. In love, there is fear of disappointment. In happiness, it's the sadness. In intimacy, it's failure. In exam, it's not being able to pass. So people tend to fear these things, and these things which have least chances of occurring, people invite them by getting afraid of it. The fear of criticism is also similar. The thinking of what others will say, how they are going to react, and blah blah. These types of thoughts put the heavy chains and shackles on the feet and thus hinders the person to move forward. In whatever subject the fear is more, the less time it takes to appear in reality. You might have noticed that the thing which is extra taken care of, either it breaks or it gets lost. The more the efforts are put, the more the efforts are put for the treatment of someone, more often he dies. Actually, fear stays far away of. The fear stays far away and occurs less frequently, but people are afraid of its scenario. For example, mothers worry about their children that if they go outside, they'll catch cold or they'll get ill, or what if they get injured while playing. These fears of mothers impacts the children way too much. One wise man has truly said that fear is nothing but lack of faith in God, and that too much pride in something. This fear puts obstacles in every step in person's life. Just think of a swimmer swimming with a heavy load tied in his legs. Or think about a person running with a heavy backpack on. Will they be able to perform well on their tasks, whether swimming or running? No. So living this life with the burden of fear or doing anything with fear makes it dull and diminishes our powers. The sacraments of fear attach itself from the very childhood. To become free from it, it's necessary one must continuously try to release it from their system. Fear is in darkness, lack of knowledge, and lethargy. Whenever you fear something, go in the bright light, go outside and start doing something. Take up some task, busy yourself. Just have a thought that a person is fearless by birth. A little child never fears anything, be it a snake, storm, darkness, or anything. But as he grows up, he learns that fear, hearing it from society and people around him. Similarly, a young person, having listening to several people, confirms his fear. A truly brave person is the one who does not fear anything. Instead, he makes fear him. He never invites misery through fear. Have you ever wondered why a liar fears others? Because he fears himself. Why would a truth speaker or a veracious person fear others? Fear is not having faith in God, not trusting Him, not surrendering Him. And thus, the fear of major obstacles, inadequacy, misery, or death takes over due to lack of faith in the Supreme Lord. One who has utmost faith in God, he is fearless. There is a saying of a wise man. He said, I compromised with the fear. I made him my friend. Now I'm not afraid of it. Now I instead greet it like my friend. As when a friend comes, welcoming him feels like a little struggle. Similarly, I struggle only that much for that time frame only, when it comes suddenly. So now, as I have considered my fear as my friend and stopped fearing from it, the behavior of my friend changed towards me, and it does not affect me that much. Even it always offers something in the end. There is one more saying of a great person, and that is, immense reverence in God removes any negative emotion, be it fear or anything. Reverence and fear, both these qualities are contrary to each other. These can't come together. It's next to impossible. As love and hate can't be felt simultaneously, right? So there are many real life examples in the Indian history, like of Dhruv, Prahlad, Harishchandra, and many more. They all faced huge troubles in their lives, but their devotion towards God saved them. These are real life examples. It is an obvious fact that a father even loves his idiot son, but God's shelter is way more genuine and more than the father's shelter. Putting energy in trusting God makes oneself fearless totally. According to these opinions, you yourself must pave a path to become fearless. And that is how you can get rid of this massive obstacle which is nothing but fear, and can live a healthy life. So that's all for the part 1. The next video will be about confusion and illusion of attachment, which is also an offspring of attachment. So don't miss that video either. Thank you.